What is up, y'all? It is your boy, Soy Sebastiano. Yo, and so anyway. So look, I'm here in Griffin, Georgia today. We are at local Griffin Mosque. The population here is at around 230 people of Muslims. This is a small town here outside of Atlanta with a population of around 26,000 people. And of those 26,000 people, it is speculated that only 200 of them could possibly be Muslim, but that's just an estimation. There's no way to completely count or to make 100% sure. So today we're going to be looking all around Griffin, the Griffin parts, and looking at their local mosque and seeing, how they are, seeing if we go inside them and see what the Muslim community is like here in Griffin, Georgia. Maybe asking around some questions, just seeing how everything goes. All right, y'all. So basically, we are headed to the Griffin Islamic Center right now. Now, you got to understand, this is a very small town. So, we're not driving far or anything. It's right down the street, but you wouldn't even know it's a mosque because they're so small and they're just, hidden in plain sight. The fact that they have mosques just shows that no matter, where you're at in the world, or no matter, how limited it feels, it's never too limited to the point where you can't follow God. You know what I mean? You just see how strong the Muslim community is, even though we're in the middle of butt booty nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You can still see that they're still Muslims and they're still finding ways to worship the one and only. This is a church coming up right here, and look how big that is, right? Look how big this church is. Y'all see that? That is crazy, right here in the middle of Griffin. And there ain't really nothing here, but they made sure to put down a good amount of bread to make this big old church right here. It's crazy because this mosque right here, it says it's literally right down the street, and I could have sworn I've seen this building before, but I never looked at this and been like, hey, this is a mosque. Maybe it isn't a mosque. Maybe it's just used to be a mosque, or maybe it isn't a mosque. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe a mosque in Griffin is different from what we call a mosque. A masjid, for those who Is it closed? What in the world? Okay. So if you look, just give them a good idea of the scenery. People walking down the street, thrift store, eat up 2 people walking down the street. And I guess this is it. What does that sign say right there? So it is a masjid. You don't think it's shut down or closed, do you? Why? It has a lock on it. Why would it close? The next prayer is in about an hour and 30 minutes. You think it's abandoned? I wouldn't be. You want to go in? No business hours. There's only 7 reviews on it. Only 7 reviews on it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is abandoned or is no longer, being funded. I don't know if, because in Islam we don't really take donations. You know what I mean? We're not like a church. We're not gonna put a bowl in your face and say, hey, give us money. So I wouldn't be surprised if the city of Griffin didn't care to fund, a masjid, you know what I mean? And just look where it's at, you know what I mean? But it doesn't matter. People want to worship. There's a church down there. So we're gonna get another look at it from right here. But if most people would never assume that this is a masjid. You think we can go in from right there? Dude, there's not like any cars here or anything. So like you have no idea. The city of Griffin is very, very weird sometimes, y'all. Y'all gotta understand that like nothing happens down here. So like charity and donation here isn't the same as in like other places. You know, no one ever does anything for this place, or nothing ever really happens here. So whenever you're kind of like approaching someone or something and trying to like say like, hey, I want to do charity work or anything of that kind of nature, everyone gets a little bit fishy because they're like, oh, I don't know about that. You know, stuff doesn't really happen here. Do you think there's somebody here? You don't think there's a single person in there? So you don't think we should go in and knock?
I mean, I think we should go.
But like, look at this. I want y'all to see these reviews real quick. So you look up this masjid and it shows you the masjid. Hold on, now let me just, okay. Okay, so this is the second masjid, right? The Griffin Islamic Center. It shows you two pictures of the actual building itself, and then it just shows you cars. It just starts showing you cars. But I guess that's our next stop, y'all, so let's get it. This one, the Griffin Islamic Center, it says real people, real masjid. Community is caring and loving. Only place where people in this place can perform 5 times a day of salah. Amazing place. Times for Ramadan for all Muslims. Real people, real masjid. Great local mosque. Great community. This one looks a lot better. This one looks a lot less, you know. Seeing like what people are saying about the other one, it really seems like that is the only actual place, because they said this is the only place in Griffin where you can actually pray 5 times a day. So I'm guessing this one isn't like open for all 5 prayers or something. Who knows when this is open? There's no website, there's no nothing, there's no information about it. It's literally just shows you the location on Google. It has like 4 reviews that say, oh, it's great, it's a good masjid. And then other than that, that's it. It's no open hours, no anything. So let's get one more look at it as we drive by. No one would ever assume that that's a mosque, you know. No one would ever assume that's a mosque. And I don't know if the camera's doing it very justice, but it is tiny. Like, it is actually tiny. It's hard for me to imagine, because we usually, if we do anything Muslim activities, we go to Atlanta, because that's where my teacher's at. My brother is Muslim too, so when we do anything Muslim related, we go to Atlanta, Stone Mountain, DeKalb County area. And we got a big, beautiful mosque where, you know, hundreds of people come in to do their prayer, you know, take your shoes off, go in, you know, do your prayer. With that, it's hard to imagine, you know, people going in there and having a room to take their shoes off and then having a place to pray, because it's literally like, what would you say that is? Like, what would you say like the size is? Like, imagine like a big shed, I would say, I guess. I don't know. Like, or like a small convenience store on the side of the road. It's like very, very compact. It just makes me wonder, you know. I'm glad. It makes me feel very good inside, you know, that people have places to pray regardless of their condition or regardless of where they're at. They still, you know, find time to worship the one and only Creator. It just makes me feel kind of bad, you know what I'm saying? It just really shows how much like non-effort they put into it, you know. And that's why we got to keep giving dawah, you know, revert more people. And look at these 2 churches right here, more churches. So the Muslim population here isn't high, so I'm not saying there should be as many mosques as churches. There shouldn't be like 7, 8, you know, mosques, because there's not really many Muslims here. But they can build 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fancy churches, but can't fund at least just one decent sized mosque where people can really, you know, take some time to, you know, pray, you know, just to, you know, be considerate. I don't know any halal food here, any halal places. The reason I thought about this is because I was walking and I never even wanted like check to see if there was any Islamic centers here. I just assumed there wasn't. My wife told me, she said, we might be the only 2 Muslims in the entire city of Griffin. So I was like, I wanted to check it. So I started doing research, and there's like 0 history about Muslims in the city here of Griffin. Isn't it just so crazy though? It's like no matter where you go, no matter where you're at, it's still worship. It really shows how strong Islam is. Another thing I wonder is the masjid is so small, so tiny. How do they separate the men and women? How do you wash? Like, do they have a room to wash? You have to make a room where everyone can put their shoes to separate the men and women and to be able to wash yourself. And that place is like the size of one of these trailers on this train. Does it seem coming off like I'm talking caca, or is it like shit? Okay, so here we go. This is the second masjid. And there's a parking lot with a car. There's a car blocking the parking lot. So this one looks a lot more legit. Okay, I guess we're pulling in. Do you think it's just open to go in to? Yeah, there might not be people here, but I think you can just walk in, for your prayer. It's not prayer time yet, so but we're here. All right, you want to go in? So this is it right here. There is a car, a Dodge right here, blocking the entrance. Now I'm a bit nervous, man, because pretty much most Muslims here, the Muslims that are here, it's locked. And there's no one in this car. I assume that most of the Muslims here and most of the Muslims that go here know each other. It's a very, very small Muslim community here. So the Muslim community that is here, which I've never seen a Muslim here. I've never seen a Muslim, or at least someone who looks Muslim. So yeah, but if you look, they got cameras. So they got cameras right here and here. That's so weird that they're not open. You think we should come back for prayer? Think we should come back for prayer? We should try to come back for prayer, see if they open it. There's a car here, and as we were leaving, we were thinking like we can't leave without trying. It's just visiting 2 mosques from the outside twice. Shariel thinks we should not. Is it a girl though? Like, look at this. There's eyelashes on this Dodge. And every time I come right here, the door is not even glass. It's plastic. You can push on the door like this. It's completely covered. And there's a bird somewhere in here that keeps screaming. And I mean, there's cameras, so if you would think someone's here, you know, they'd look at the cameras. Maybe someone lives at the masjid, you know? Maybe whoever, you know, is running the masjid. So I think a Muslim is very passionate and is, you know, doing their best and decided they wanted to have a mosque, and I guess the only way they could do it is to I don't know. I really doubt these mosques are owned by the cities. I really think that they're locally owned by people. So I guess we're not. So we're leaving now? All right, let's get it.